That's because I lost. Well, I didn't lose a bet. It was a dare. So I was dared to do it. So normally I'm just Chris Casper, but today I'm Chris hashtag Victoria RM. So that's what's going on today. Yeah. Fabio, what's going on? Katie, what's going on? All the Fabio. So Fabio is one of our guests tonight. In fact, we've got a mystery guest. We've got Romeo. How's it going? It's a pleasure to meet you. Such a bouncer. There we go. Oh, that's because that you don't kick. Yeah, go and shoot. This is now Q&A time while we wait for people to roll in and get the show started. Yeah, for sure. So that's what the hashtag Victoria RM is about today. Kristen, how's it going? Marine, you can be read if you reoccur to the stream and if you add the. Oh, thank you so much, man. Romeo, check your DMs right now. I'm sending you a message. And it is important. Okay, one sec. You have the power. Yes. Power's out. You're almost to the coins. Hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind what, my friend? So Romeo, go and check your messages real quick, please. Yes. You're right. It's the vibe. So we have a mystery guest today. We also have Chelsea Boo right there, Miss Alexis, Texas. We have on the show. We have Twitch, but Twitch is no longer going to be on tonight. We had a last-minute circumstance happen, but we do have Fabio on tonight, which is exciting. So we've got Fabio and we've got Kristen, who I'm sorry, not Kristen, Chelsea, but she's under the username is Alexis Texas. She'll be on the show as well. So we've got Fabio and Chelsea, all that kind of stuff. Tay, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by, Tay. Excellent. Thank you for requesting the box. You are. Thank you. Kristen, thank you for the favorite. Spicy BBW. Shelly, thank you so much for the favorite. Everyone, so I'm going to reformat the show a little bit. We've been doing the same thing for a little while. Normally I start with announcements and I talk about shows. I feel like by this point, you know the shows. The shows have been going on for quite some time. I thought I've had a lot of streamers get referred to me, and they say, "Hey, Chris, I would like to be on the show. May I please?" And I'll ask them how many diamonds they have or how many favorites they have, and they'll try to use it as a platform to try and get started. So I thought we could start with some streamer tips and ways to get started, ways to earn your top badge, and ways to help you stand out as you begin your streaming journey. And Romeo, do you have an answer for me there, my friend? Otherwise, I've got to move quickly here. Equalizer, what's going on? Heather, hey everybody. Hey Heather, thank you so much for coming by. So on the lineup today, again, as we're waiting for people to come in, next time you got it. Where did that top badge go? Do I have any top badges in here right now? Do I have any top badges who have not been featured on the show yet? Hey, Drew. Tay, what are you doing right now? Do you have access to your camera? Do you have availability to be on the show? We had a last-minute cancellation. You're about to go live. Well, before you go live, you should definitely be featured on the show. How does that work? Normally, we plan this out much further in advance. I had someone cancel quickly. We're having to make a change. No hard feelings towards them. Boss Tay, don't worry. Many people have been on the show, and it's, I promise you, not going to be any nerve-rattling experiences. I'm just looking for a top badge. Someone that I have who's earned their way there. Mom nervous. There we go. Yeah, so we've got, secret. Something happened with him. It's okay, though. No hard feelings towards Twitch, but it was just a very, very very last minute cancellation. And I still would like to have 3 people featured tonight. So if we can't get another top badge or former top badge on, that's okay. We'll go ahead and swing it a little bit differently. But we've already got Fabio ready, and Fabio was second on the docket, so we'll be able to have him. So do we have a final answer on that, Tay, or are we thinking maybe next time? This is not how we run this show. Oh, excellent, Tay. Tay, thank you so much. Okay, so we will have Tay up first, everyone. So we have a very special impromptu top streamer who will be joining us for Suited Up today. As you guys know, you see, I always post things well in advance of how we do the show. But again, we had a last minute cancellation. Thank you so much for the car. Let's get out there things. We're almost to 100 people. So let's get the show rolling, right? So my name's Chris. Welcome to Suited Up. This is a weekly show that's done here on Meet Me. It's a featured show that highlights and talks about content creators, top streamers, people who are up and coming, VIPs, individuals who haven't maybe been noticed, but are working really hard in their streams. I love to bring on people with a great story or have something that's influential or inspiring. So you can come back every week to see interviews between 3 guests. So this week, we have top streamer Tay. We have VIP and featured man himself, Mr. Fabio. And we have top streamer of the former kind, Alexis Texas, one of the top favorited individuals on the app. So you'll be able to learn a whole lot from her as well. Before we get started, and before we get too far into things, I do like to mention that as I have these conversations and we do these interviews, we do a little prep work. We do things beforehand. And for that reason, I don't interact with the live stream. And I don't acknowledge gifts. I don't acknowledge comments during the conversations. So they're definitely appreciated. And I thank you all very much for who do it. It's just during the conversations, we don't talk about it. All right. So on that note, if you have any interest in ever being on the show, please message me on Instagram. You can send me a message on here if you'd like to. But just note that I do ask a few things of you, and there's a little bit of prep work where I ask you to send me something like a photo, and it's fun. So please check into it, message me about it. So let's go and crack into it. Everyone, let's please give a very warm welcome to our very first guest tonight, someone who on the spot was so nice to say, you know what, Chris, let's do this. Let's do some Suited Up. I'm not prepared at all. But I'm gonna try it. And I love that. That's top streamer quality enthusiasm, right? That's top streamer quality content. So let's go and bring her on. Miss Boss Tay, please. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's lovely to have you. Tay.
Let's fuck it up.
Let's do it, right? I'm doing it live. All right, so Tay, thanks for coming on the show. You didn't even know you were gonna be on the show.
I didn't know.
No, you said, hey, I'm gonna stop by and say, hey, Chris, what's going on? And then it turned into now you're featured. This is the only time I've ever done this, and more than I think almost 30 episodes. So, hey, there's a first time for everything. That's show business, right?
Right.
Not a problem. So, Tay, since we haven't done any prep work and I'm making things up as I go right now, I'm thinking, how fun would it be to show a little bit of the behind the scenes of what I normally ask and how I go about it? So, sound good?
Yes.
Cool. So, I'm going to go off of actually the script of what I send people. And that way you can have like a general idea of what the purpose of the show is. So, the purpose of Suited Up is to basically put out for everyone to see and know more about the top streamers and content creators on the app, like in a different version of just them in their live stream. You know, getting a way to know them more personally, finding out what they're passionate about, how they got started on the app, things like that. So I'm interested. Why did you originally join Meet Me?
You know what? I joined to find a girlfriend. As weird as that sounds, I am actually married. I've been with my husband for 7 years, but we originally got on the app to kind of just explore per se. And then we found out about the live streaming part. So we were like, fuck it, let's try it. So I
Sure.
was I was super nervous the first time I went live too. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? Like what am I gonna do? I was like, what if they don't like me? I was super scared, like to go live streaming at all. Like that was my first thought. I was like, I'm scared to do this.
Yeah.
And then so I did it, and people just naturally started talking to me, like asking about me. And so then I asked about them. And so it just became natural like that, just literally talking. And so I was originally on here to find a girl, and then I explored the live streaming apps, and then I just started talking to people.
Yeah. Um, again, because we haven't talked prior to this about things that will be brought up during this conversation, I just like to gauge your level of comfortability to talk about that. Is that something you're open to discussing and talking about?
Yeah, there's some aspects of my relationship that I like to keep private, but I am very open that I am bisexual, but I am married and I keep it at that. Like I'm not looking for any type of relationship like that. I keep it strictly just I'm married.
Yeah. Okay, so you're married and um, your sexuality and sexual preference isn't the social norm. It doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that it's a good or a bad thing. It's just what it is for you. Um, have you always been this open in the live stream about your intentions of being on the app?
You know what? I don't. People ask me like, "What am I doing on here?" I get frequently guys ask me that because they think that this is like a dating site.
Hmm.
And so they're like, "What are you doing on here if you're married?" I'm like, "I'm on here to live stream and have fun with you guys and talk to you." And so they'll ask me about my sexuality, and I'm very open. I'm like, I love girls; they're beautiful. I'm bisexual. I'm open about that. But then exploring that, I don't use this site as a dating site or like to hook up or anything like that. So I keep that strictly live stream professional.
Yeah. Um, Prior to being on Meet Me, had you had a background in content creation or broadcasting, anything performance wise?
In high school, I did like drama class, so I did acting and stuff like that. But that was 10 years ago, and I've always had a natural need to talk to people. Like I need to talk to people. I always need to talk to people and just like keep a conversation going like that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go there. I mean, who was Boss Tay Tay in high school? Were you the drama kid? Were you the drama geek?
I was kind of in the middle. Like I did acting for a little bit, and then I was just kind of a floater. Like I wasn't one of the smart people, but I was smart, but I wasn't dumb. I
Mhm.
didn't smoke weed, I didn't party, I was not athletic at all. I was just kind of there. And I just made sure that I graduated.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I mean, you made it through, and sounds like you had like the typical like good high school experience. Um,
Yeah.
in the plays and the theatrical performances that you did, were you like Boss Tay Tay Tree, or were you like center stage, bossing it up? What was your role in it all?
I was a little bit of everything. So I first started out as the tree. I was like, "Help me, let me get up there." And so then I started getting into the big roles and acted more and everything like that.
Okay,
I did
okay.
just a little bit of everything.
I mean, during that time in your life, did you have aspirations to ever become like an actress or do something bigger than that?
I did, but I dabbled a lot with like mental health. Like I was really depressed in high school also, so I kind of didn't have the confidence to like even apply for college. So like afterwards, when it got time to apply for colleges, I applied for one and I didn't get in, and then I was just like heartbroken after that. And so I felt like I couldn't do anything else. And so after high school, I just like went straight to the work business, and I worked at a fast food industry and got it up to a manager position. I just feel like I couldn't go to college.
Yeah. In retrospect, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you were a different person then and would now change that decision, or are you happy with the path that you took?
I am happy because school is just really wasn't for me because after I went into the manager position at the fast food industry, I got pregnant, and then I went back to school. And then I was actually going for nursing, and I just realized school was not for me. I just didn't like it. I ended up quit school, and I got into another trade work. I got into the mortgage industry. And so I really loved the mortgage industry. I was good at that. I was a loan officer because I didn't require any school for that. So I was happy with that.
You said it doesn't require school, so if all fails, everyone, you can be a mortgage. Is it a loan officer? Is that or mortgage officer? Is it someone?
Mortgage loan officer, yeah.
Mortgage loan officer, perfect. So, not a dig at anyone else who does that,
Yeah.
but yeah. Now, at this time in your life, I guess what would you say was the idea of the direction that you wanted? Had you already met your husband at this point, or was it a different point in your life?
Yeah, so I met him I met him in high school. We've known each other for a long time, and then got out of high school. I was working at the fast food place, and
Mhm.
then we got pregnant. He was young, I was young. I was 19. He was actually 17, and then by the time we had our son, I was 20 and he was 18. And so then we had stayed together.
It's I'll like tuck it away in my mind that it's another high school sweetheart love story gone right
Yeah.
kind of like I wanna sometimes believe that that's a thing. Who knows? Okay, so yeah, so you had a baby. I'm sure life changed a lot then. So at this time, are you still doing the loan officer role, or what's happening?
um I'm kind of in the middle because I work at a bank right now. So it's a little bit different industry. It's still in the finance industry, but just a different realm of it. I chose the banking because I was in the mortgage industry for 3 years and I love it. That's like my niche right there.
Mhm.
I actually just moved to Florida, so I was looking for another job. And so I just decided to get into the banking industry. And with the banking industry that I'm in, you can also be a loan officer and get into the mortgage industry. So I'm kind of trying to find my niche within the banking industry if I'm going to go back to the loan officer type of stuff or if I'm going to stay in the banking.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like undecided.
And when did Meet Me come into all of this? How long have you been on the app?
Uh, Probably since like late 2017.
Yeah, so that was like the beginning of the live period,
Yes,
like
yes,
before diamonds and all of that.
yeah, exactly.
What was that first time like when you went live? Do you
I was
remember?
so scared. My husband was actually like pushing me to go live just to like try it out.
Mm,
And I was like, dude, I'm super scared. I don't know if I want to do this. I'm like, and I kept saying, like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? They're just going to be staring at me. I'm
mm.
going to just be staring at the camera. Like, what am I going to do? I thought I had no content at all. And so I just went live, and then people just started talking to me. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I warmed up some more, and then just started talking to them. But at first, I was super scared. I was just like, what am I going to do?
Sure, sure. It sounds like between you and your husband, there's this really trusting dynamic
Yes.
where you came on here with a certain intention, and he's pushing you to go live and to live stream. Um, in but we don't need the inner workings and all the finer details of what your relationship is, but what would you say or suggest out to some of the people who are viewing that have thought about also introducing another partner? What elements should you consider and make sure that you have on your checklist before you try and enter any of that kind of territory?
You guys have to fully talk about it. Like everyone says, communication is key. You hear that all the time. But
Mhm.
it's literally the most important aspect. You guys have to know your wants and desires, and you guys have to be on the same page also. Like if you want something and your partner wants something different, like it's not going to work. You both have to want it, and even if you just like try it out, even if you don't think you want it and your partner's like, let's just try it, and if you don't like it, then you both have to be on the same aspect of we can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
And you just literally you both have to want it or else it's not going to work.
yeah. Has it been that easy for you? Was it just like a clear cut, yeah, we're on the same page, let's do this, or did it take some trial and error?
It took some time because I had always known that I was attracted to females, and I had never dabbled on it before, never, partaken in the female aspect. And, then I got with my husband, and we had been together for so long. And he's like, I know you want to try this. I know it's been in your back of your mind the whole time. You need to go just try it. And I was content. I was like, I don't need to do this. Like, I'm happy with you. And so we finally did it, and we actually did it together. And I think that's what helped because he was with me. And we actually, well, TMI, but we did it with a couple. And so that helped too because we were both on the same aspect. Like, well, maybe this will be better. And so that's what helped, like, us together. And we figured out, and then we went just solo, and we just tried different things, and we found out like what worked and what didn't. But if someone was not comfortable with something, we had to talk about that, and so that way we wouldn't do that again.
Sure. So a couple things I want to highlight that you talked about there. But the first thing would be is that what would you say is the level of trust between both of you? I mean, this is by conventional or social norm standards, hot waters. This is dangerous territory. How would you say trust is in your relationship?
I mean, I would think it's pretty strong. I mean, we communicate. I would say, like, we look at each other's phones. A lot of people don't say that that's trust right there, to where you have to look at your partner's phone
Hmm.
all the time. But for us, it is because we'll have conversations with other people if we're trying to dabble and try new things. That, the other person is busy at the time, and, like, I'm at work or he's doing something with the kids. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, we have to check each other's phones if we don't have, because we have a very busy life. And so we check each other's phones all the time. And that's just our type of trust communication right there. So that way we know what's going on in all aspects if we're going to, next weekend dabble into that community again.
Hmm. Okay. Um, would you say that this app has played an extension for that area in your life, or does it exist outside of the app? And here,
Outside. We definitely, once we got successful into the live stream and we really decided that we liked Meet Me and live streaming, we stopped. Like I said, we were initially on here to find a girl. Once we found out that we liked Meet Me, we stopped doing that, trying to, like, talk to other girls. So we, like I said, strictly live stream professional on here at all times. And so we went other routes.
would you consider yourself to be polyamorous?
No, I don't like to put a label on it. We don't like to label it. We don't like to say that we have an open relationship. We just have our relationship.
Hmm. Sure. And it seems to work for you. So I guess
Yep.
just to not make this the focal point of the entire conversation, but to put a little bit of a bow on it, to finality, okay? What would you say is a non-negotiable then within your relationship? Because again, just from the understanding of like a social norm, uh, if my partner were with someone else, that'd be a non-negotiable. That's game over. But it seems as though between you two, as long as it's communicated, it's a norm and exists within the relationship. So, what would be a non negotiable, or what would be, I guess, a deal breaker for you?
I mean, I have certain acts that I don't like to do, so that's like non-negotiable for me. But I would say that, like, in his aspect, he still wants me to be open and try whatever I want as long as I tell him and honest with it, and, at least make him feel included if I, whatever it is. It's Rainy Tacos. I love that one. Sorry. But I don't think it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. It's kind of like a play by play motion. We just have to go with it.
But as long as it's communicated.
Exactly.
Sure.
Literally tell each other everything. Everything.
Okay. And so, for all the people who are just listening, I would like to make sure that you have an opportunity to clarify or highlight something that this is obviously unique to you, and everyone has their own feelings and personal, um, I guess, boundary lines, right? So, is there anything that you'd like to share or highlight or address just regarding the topics that we just went over?
I don't think so.
What would you suggest to anyone out there who's considering trying the same thing as you?
Communication, communication, communication. Talk, 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 talk,
Hmm.
talk. Be open. Do not hide anything. That's the most important. Do not hide anything. If you have something in your mind that you want to try that you don't think that your partner is going to like, still need to ask anyways because it's going to be in the back of your mind that you still want to do it. You need to talk about it.
Sure, definitely. Okay, so let's talk about Meet Me some more. So you're a streamer on the app, and now you've established yourself as a top streamer. About how long did it take you to get your top badge?
Um, so like I said, I started streaming like late 2017. I've had a couple of profiles that weren't successful. I got to up to like maybe 500K on them and just I wasn't a very good streamer back then.
Hmm.
And I just kind of used it on a whim. I went live like once a week, once a month. Anyways, I've had a couple of profiles. This specific profile that I've had since March this year. And then I hit my million in May, so 2 months later, and then I got my top badge in May.
That's
So this
awesome.
one's been the most successful that I'm keeping.
You said that you weren't a good streamer back then. What do you feel like you did differently, or what have you done differently to elevate you to that level where you feel that you're now at a content standpoint or a quality standpoint that you're a top streamer?
I think it was more meaner. Like I was very mean. I was just like so standoffish to people. I'm like, why are you talking to me about that? Don't talk to me like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't very open, and I didn't talk to people like I talk to people now.
Mhm.
That's how I differentiate that profile to this profile. And plus, I got a better stand. I had horrible lighting, and then I made my content more stable. I went live more often, and I got better lighting and better content. Like, I use sticky notes to put people like on my board. I didn't do that before. I didn't really shout out the gifters. I didn't get gifted a lot, so I didn't really care. I didn't care. That's what my key point was. And now I care.
Mm. Yeah. What have been some struggles for you as a streamer? Have you, I mean, you've done it since 2017, so have you ever felt a burnout? Have you had any challenges, anything like that ever go on?
I think pretty much everyone goes through a burnout at some point. Um, like last month, I was just burnt out and like I didn't go live very much. I just did like my minimum requirement of 1 hour a week. I'm just like, this is not happening. I didn't get a lot of viewers, and I'm just like, you guys suck. I blamed it on the viewers, and I was like, no, it's me. Again, I had to take that step back, and I was like, I'm not going live enough. I'm not going live long enough. I'm not talking to people like I need to. So
Mhm.
that was my struggle. That's what set me back because of what I was doing.
So self accountability,
Yes.
the key. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's interesting. I, during these conversations, try to stay as absolutely neutral as possible. It's interesting to see and hear other people's takes about what the viewers may need to do or what someone needs to do themselves.
Right.
So it's an interesting perspective. Um, what would you suggest to individuals who are trying to get their top badge or are trying to figure out who they are as a streamer? What are some to help you get there?
I think the key point is to be positive. I like to see the best in everyone that's in my stream, and it helps me talk to people. And then once they start talking more, I'm like, oh, nope, we can't be friends, and you needs to go because if you, if I find any negativity, I'm like, I'm gonna be negative, and I can't do that. So I weed out the little ones that I just can't do. So just talk to people and get to know them. That was my most important thing. Like get to know people.
Has networking played a role in your success at all, or do you feel like you've made any friendships or acquaintances on the app?
I've met a lot of great friends on here. And a lot of people tell me, again, these are the negative Nancy's. Raining tacos! My phone's dying. Hold on, sorry. It's those negative Nancy's that are like, they're not really your friends. Like, this is meet me. I'm like, talk to these people every day. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, I had you guys on Snapchat. I learned about your lives. Like, it's super important. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
super important getting to know these people.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a Meet Me organized event, or have you met up with any of the streamers on the app?
No. You know what? I've met one friend. because like I said, so I was in California and then I just moved to Florida. I didn't get a chance to go to Playlist
Okay.
because I literally just moved. But I plan to go if they have another one. I would love to go to one.
They
But
are.
then when VidCon had happened in California, I was like, damn it, I just moved. I was like, I just moved from that place. So I plan to go to one eventually. But I've met one friend off of this app, and that's because I just moved to Florida and I had no one, and he was super nice. And I normally don't meet anyone off this app because stranger danger. You know what I mean? So that's a big key too.
Yeah. Just a quick side note. Playlist is happening again. Playlist 2020. It's happening over Leap Year Day that weekend. So February 28th, 29th, 31st, I believe, or the
That
first.
works because my birthday is
Oh,
the
and
27th February.
Meet Me is a main sponsor. So there'll be
Ooh,
tons of things going on. Details will roll out as we get closer. I'm excited to hear what they're going to do because last year was it was insane. It was
I
crazy.
heard it was epic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they, I mean, just to highlight, they had an exclusive area for top streamers, VIPs to go up, and it overlooked the entire Marriott International Convention Center, where they shot
Cool.
off fireworks. There was a live DJs, like celebrity DJs, and free drinks for everybody, and food, pillows. It's insane. So I'm telling you, anyone who's a fan of Meet Me or what's going on in this app, you need to make it the playlist and get together, all right? Like, get it together. So
Yes.
gotta make it to that.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do these days outside of the app? I mean, you stay busy on the app. You said you were only doing an hour, so that's total contradictory of what I just said.
No,
What
just
do you take
sometimes.
but you
I
only
know. It's like that sometimes where I'm having that off week and I only do that 1 hour.
yeah.
I work a lot. I work a 40-hour week job. You know, I work in the banking industry. I also have two kids.
Mm,
And I always try to go live every single day. I try to. But then there's those weeks where it's just like I have to clean my house, I have to do dinner, I have to do homework, you know, the normal wife, mother duties.
yeah.
And so, and then plus my mom visited me from California for like 2 weeks. So super busy with that. So
Mhm.
I literally only went live one time. But that's normally my life is going live at like 9 o'clock at night after my kids go to bed, getting them up for school in the morning, going to work, and then cleaning house and doing dishes. And yeah, that's my
Excellent.
life.
Well, before we start to wrap up here, are there any things that you'd like to highlight or talk about? Anything that's important to you concerning Meet Me community, things that you've done, anything at all that you'd like to share or talk about?
I think if you guys are trying to go for your top badge, just be positive because that's going to take you guys a long way. Being a nice, happy, upbeat person is going to take you such a long way and build you so many friendships. And then that's going to network you because you're going to meet all these amazing people and then you're going to want to go into their lives and then everyone is going to see your name too, but that shouldn't be your main concern. Also, I think, is networking. You want to actually get to know these people and know their lives, and like friendship is just a huge part of my live streaming. For me personally, I love talking to all my bouncers and the people that come in and talking to them on Snapchat. Like just those friendships and like loving those people in your heart is so important, so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Well, Tay Tay, I cannot thank you enough for impromptu being on the show like this. And not only, I feel like this was a killer conversation. Like, spicy one. I gotta admit, it was spicy. Like, I
Spicy.
loved it. Yeah, no, I mean, anytime someone's so open and honest and willing to put themselves out like that, it's special. So I like that. I like it. No, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, last thing. You said you go live daily. When do you go live? If everyone's enjoyed this conversation and they'd like to give you a favorite, when they come can they come and watch it?
So I always try to go live every single day. It's normally always 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Florida, so it's always during the night, only because my kids, and then they go to bed, and then that's when I can go to live.
Except now Wednesdays, right? Right.
Right.
Yeah. Very good. All right, cool. Everyone, thank you so much, Tay Tay, for coming on. Thank you for being a lifesaver. You're the best. Much, much love. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, as you guys know now, you know when to catch your live. Huge shout out and thank you to Boss Tay Tay. My name's Chris. Let's get this. Is that better? Is that straight now? Ah, there we go. It's kind of straight. We use really high quality technologies for our thank you. Thank you for the angel, and thank you so much to everyone else who gave a gift during that interview. That was super special. Thank you so much for doing all that. Really do appreciate it. For those of you just joining, this is Suited Up with Chris. We do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We bring on content creators, top streamers, VIPs, up and comers, really anyone that you should get to know on the app. I do my best to feature them. So I love this. I love this. So for our next guest, all right, he is a builder type of gentleman, okay? But I'm not going to get too far into it. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can get you to request a box, my friend. He is a gent, he is a scholar, and he is killing the game as far as his diamond count goes. So we're going to dig into that a little bit and learn a little bit about what he's been doing when it comes to live streams. Um, he do not confuse him with the other handsome gentleman because there's many handsome Fabios, but this is probably the handsomest of the Fabios. We're only able to kill so much time, Fabio. Wait for that box there, my guy. So it's Fabio, Fabio. Okay, I need you to request a box. That's what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the box. Our second guest of the evening, the one and the only, the beautiful gentleman himself, Mr.
How's
Fabio.
everyone doing? Thank you guys. First of all, I want to thank Chris for giving me an opportunity to be here tonight. And I appreciate also everyone that's part of the Fabio fam for being so supportive. And I really love you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely Fabio fam is in like full force. You've got a lot of people who love you,
Yes,
and
sir. I love him too.
I'm excited to talk about how people have found you and develop that type of relationship with you. So
Right.
Fabio, before we crack too far into it, can you introduce where you're from, your name, just some of the basics there?
Yes, sir. I'm originally from Panama.
Hmm.
Uh, I was born and raised there. My dad is he's Italian. He was born in Italy. He was raised in Colombia. I was born in Panama. My mom's from Panama. Yeah,
Excellent.
and I've been in the United States since 2000.
Okay.
Um, yeah, when I got a academic scholarship, and I ended up not taking it, so I went into the like marine field and uh, construction
Sure.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, let's dig into some of that. But before we do, is there any chance I can get you to pause your music just a second? I'm
Oh,
just
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even
okay.
realize that he was
No,
playing.
you're okay. I'm sure you were just chilling. Like you were getting
I was,
you were in the
and I was
zone. You were in
listening.
the zone. You were in the
Yes.
zone. Okay. So lived in Panama, number one. So you're not originally from the U.S.
No, I'm from Panama.
Yeah. What was life like in Panama? I mean, what were some of the major differences?
It was great. We use dollar currency there.
Mm.
Um, I had a really good childhood when I was a kid and all that. I was, I guess I could say blessed. I was always traveling, going to different countries with my dad because my dad is a traveler. Every year we had to go to a different country. We had to travel. He had to take me with him. So I visited a bunch of different countries. I'm very family oriented. I
Mhm.
believe in loyalty. I don't believe in all that screaming and arguments and all that stuff
Sure.
because I wasn't around that when I was a kid. My parents still together, and they still act like they just met. They still got that flame going. So that's what I believe in. That's what I want for me eventually in the future.
Mhm.
You know,
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
hmm
then, how long ago did you say you came to the U.S.?
in 2000,
2000. Okay.
2000. Yes, sir.
And right. So you said you didn't take the academic scholarship. What
Yeah.
brought you here then?
I was going to take it, but they were gonna house me, um, pay for college and everything, but they said that I had to learn English on the academic level,
Hmm.
college level. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
and it was I had to take intensive English classes, and they were like $5,000 back then
Oh,
for like a 6 month course or something. And I was like, no, this is too much money. I left Panama when I was 18, and I was like, well, I'm on my own now. I'm gonna make it happen on my own.
yeah.
So I just didn't want to involve my family anymore to do anything for me. I think they've done enough. So it's time for me to make it happen on my own.
So when people talk about coming to the U.S., the process isn't as easy as, hey, just learn some things. It costs money.
It
Five,
does.
five,
It
six,
does.
$7,000. That's
Right.
serious cash.
Yes.
Hmm.
Especially back then in 2000.
Yeah.
That was a lot more money back then.
Hmm. Well, I mean, and
You know.
that's also a bit of the catch is if someone's coming here to look for a better life, well, you
Right.
have to be able to afford to have a better life.
Right.
That's it's a paradox. So
Exactly.
that just doesn't work out.
Hmm.
You also said that you were a Marine.
I did marine work.
Oh, you did Marine work.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
both.
like running tugboats, doing mechanical work, electrical work at a shipyard.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
servicing ships.
have you always been really handy?
Since I was a kid, yeah. Like
Mm.
I was one of them kids that always like to take things apart. Like I destroy the toys that I used to get for Christmas just to get the motor out of it and make my own toy type of thing. So I was always the one like I was into motocross when I was a teenager, so I was always working on my own thing, my own motorcycle, dirt bikes, BMX, all that. I was into all that.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Rollerblading.
Hmm. When you got to the U.S., what did you end up doing?
Well, this was my second visit here in the U.S. I had already came when I was back in '91.
Mm-hmm.
My dad took the whole family to Disney and all that, so so yeah, it was my second time.
Yeah.
I went to visit my aunt and family in Miami. I spent some time there. I went to Miami High for uh, I went to English. I took English classes in Miami High for a couple of months. Then I met this one girl. She introduced me to her dad, and he said, "Well, why don't you come work with me in Louisiana? Um, I got a shipyard. You can learn how to do all kinds of different things there." And I was like, "Okay, let's go," because I'm all about like adventures. I was like, "Let's go, let's do it." My aunt's like, "Oh, be careful with that guy." I said, "I don't care, whatever. Let's go." I don't think he don't seem like a bad guy. I mean, I'm dating his daughter. You know. So,
I mean that's a nice plug.
right. So I was like, "Let's go." So so yeah. So I learned a lot of different trades there. Uh, like I said, learn how to run cranes there, do mechanic work, electrical welding, um, all that stuff. So I worked with him for like. Then he was paying for my English classes
Hmm.
in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hmm. Real, real,
So
real quick, just to get an idea, when you came to the U.S. like to live here, did you know English or were you still
very
learning?
little, very very little.
Very little?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went to this school for like 9 months.
Hmm.
So yeah, I learned how to write it and read it and all that stuff. I can pretty much do it almost like Spanish, read and write. I still have an accent and stuff, but yeah.
I mean, that's the awesome. I mean, being bilingual is such a skill. It's such a.
Yeah, I've been like I was telling, I've been able to work in refineries, nuclear plants,
Mhm.
run supervised jobs. I also work in a wind industry,
Mhm.
building and doing new construction on the wind turbines.
Yeah.
I got pictures all over my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's in my bio. It's all over
Yeah.
uh, my profile. But
Were were any of these jobs that you had dangerous or?
very dangerous.
Yeah. What were
Yeah.
some of the what was like one of the most dangerous jobs that you had?
Um. Actually, I think it's the one I have right now.
Really? And what is that?
Uh, building and doing new construction and wind turbines,
I'm winning.
windmills. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
because you got to be very careful with the wind. Because sometimes we take chances, but you really don't know 100% what nature is gonna do.
mhm.
So yeah, it's very dangerous. These things are designed to pick up wind, to catch wind, and all that. So,
Are you really high up?
hmm?
Are you really high up, or what's the dangerous part?
I run the crane.
Oh, you run the crane.
I run the crane. Yes,
Okay.
I'm the
Wow.
crane operator. So yeah, I gotta be like I have like really huge responsibility.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, the crane operator is the one that makes the last call.
Yeah.
Shut the job down or whatever. So I'm also like a supervisor in a way as well on
Hmm.
this job. Excuse me.
Okay.
So yeah, but I
That's
love my job. I've done it before. Back in 2015 for a couple of years, and I took a break, went down back down south, did some work in refineries, and I'm back at it again doing the wind turbines.
boom. Here you are.
I really like it. I love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love what you do for a living, because otherwise you're gonna be miserable every time you go. You know.
It sounds like you're naturally a tinkerer. That you like to build. You like
Oh
to.
yeah, I love that.
Mhm. Yeah. That's really cool.
I love,
Um, I, I would like to talk a little bit about your experience with Meet Me now.
okay.
When did you first download Meet Me?
I think it was around 2008, 2009.
Okay.
I downloaded the app and I was like, let me check this out. I was single. Well, let me see if I can meet some locals in the area and local people. And,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the reason why I downloaded the app. So then I got in a relationship shortly after that. And then I got away from the app for a while. Then I did the same thing when I was single again, uh, then when I found out they had the live feature, then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I
Yeah.
started going live, and I really like it.
Yeah. Had you had any backgrounds in broadcasting, or what was the appeal to you of hitting that go live?
Oh, not on live streaming,
Hmm.
but in meetings, like I said, in these refineries, safety meetings, and I've been in front of a bunch of people a bunch of times, talking about safety, about procedures, pre-task analysis, how we're gonna do the job, step by step, and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. So safety is important, and that translated.
very.
I've never heard someone say safety is something that translated well to live, but I think that's
Yeah,
interesting.
but it's a safe. It's not just at work. Safety has to be put in practice also at home.
Okay.
You know, wherever we go, whatever we do, we always got to think about not putting ourselves in the line of fire,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
make a decision before actually, doing something. Make a good decision.
yeah. What was it like for you when you first started going live on the app, and about how long ago was that when you first started going live?
Well, I think it was around this time. Around this time, it's gonna be about 2 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, about 2 years now.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
Like I said, when I first went live, I was like, man, this is kind of. I didn't feel right because I was nervous with a bunch of people watching you and stuff. But
Mm.
then I got used to it within a week. And so Donnie. So yeah, so I got used to it, and I like that. I've been streaming ever since.
Yeah. Cool.
Pretty much for 2 years, I've been streaming every day. I probably uh, took like a 2 day, 3 day break, but pretty much every day I've been streaming for 2 years.
Wow. What has the community like been like for you? What has happened as a result of you being so consistent on Meet
Um, I like when people join my stream to I like I don't I think that when you live stream, it shouldn't be just about the streamer. I want people to interact with one another in my stream, get to know each other. I love to see that, like a family atmosphere.
Me?
Like that's what I like to see. and I also help homeless people in the past uh, with this app, and
Okay.
also went live when I was doing it because I wanted to inspire people to see that if I can do it, uh, you know, everyone can do it. You know, do a little bit at a time and try to make a difference.
What does that mean that you've helped homeless people in the past with the app? Can you talk more about?
Well, the first time, because I was thinking, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use this app since I have so many people viewing me,
Mhm.
um, and my viewers, to help others, and like I said, in this case, homeless people.
Mhm.
Decided to go buy a bunch of food and uh, water and stuff and go live. And I spent my own money the first time. I think I
Yeah.
spent like $700-800. But I just did it because I wanted to inspire people, right?
Yeah.
So I went live and I was interviewing some of the homeless people, some of these Vietnam vets, and I was listening to their stories, and they have some very interesting stories. And and one of the guys is uh, I was in the tent with him, and he offered me his tent. He said, "Man, this ain't much, but you can spend the night here, if you're tired or something." So I mean, that kind of like broke my heart. It's like, man, this guy ain't got nothing really, and he's offering me his tent, but there's a lot of rich people out there that they wouldn't do that for you.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, so it was very inspiring, and a lot of people crying in the comments, and because to listen to what some of these people was going through, how they ended up homeless,
Mhm.
and well, anyway, so a lot of people was messaging me in my DMs saying like, well, next time you do it, like we'll support you, we'll send you diamonds so you can convert and go help them again. And I did the last two times that I did it last year. That's how I did it. But I always use my own money every time.
Okay.
And yeah, I want to do it again soon.
Mhm.
I haven't able to do it this year because I was dealing with my own personal things.
Mhm.
So because life's got up and downs. Like sometimes
There's
we yeah.
there's quite a few things here that I believe are really worth digging into. The first one being, you mentioned that you want to inspire people to
Right.
do. You want to inspire them. What do you mean by inspire them? What are you hoping to evoke them to do?
I want to inspire people. Like, if let's say if your neighbor needs help with something, go help your neighbor.
Hmm.
Um, if you see someone broke down on the side of the road, but I mean, it's kind of dangerous, like what I do is, because you never know, there's a lot of crazy people out there,
Hmm.
but if like help others,
Sure.
if you see someone in need, someone a homeless person, if you can help them with some food or something, go to McDonald's, go to Taco Bell, buy them something, give them some food. If you don't feel comfortable giving them any money,
Hmm.
because some of them are bad in drugs, and all that.
Yeah. Have you been well, before I get to that question, you mentioned the person staying in the tent with you. Are there any other specific stories or circumstances that you can remember that impacted you or that,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, he was telling me that he said he used to sing,
Mm.
and he was reading the comments what everybody was telling him, and he sang a song, and everybody was like, "Well, you did really good," and everybody liked it, and they were sending gifts and all that, and he, um, and he also said he wanted to thank me and everyone that was in my comments for what is that word called? Um, for bringing for he got his confidence back that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he lost that a few years ago. He got it back that night.
From being able to sing and see the comment.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Was this like an organized event, or did you just walk down to, not to be crude?
Well,
bridge and find people? What
I
is?
just, I mean, like I said, I live in New Orleans, Louisiana for a very long time on and off.
Mhm.
And like I drive through New Orleans, right? It's like 5 blocks from Bourbon Street, where they do Mardi Gras and all that.
Mhm.
And yeah, these people still there under the bridge. You guys can look it up online and you'll see. They live under the bridge. They sleep on mattresses. Some of them don't have nothing to cover themselves with. Sometimes they make beds out of cardboard and plastic bags.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, but the first time I just went, I just woke up and be like, hey, well, before I went live, it's like, hey, this I want to do this. Are you guys gonna help me do this? They're like, yeah, yeah, we'll do it. You will tell you about our life. You can interview us, and you know.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, let's do it then.
Hmm. So, what do you think has been the greatest outcome of you doing this? What, I guess, do you feel that you've made any change? I know you said that that guy
Yes,
got confidence.
like no matter what you do, like as as long as you do a little something, you doing something.
Hmm.
It's better doing a little something than not doing anything.
Hmm.
So I do my best to try to make a difference,
Hmm.
you know, um, and I have a lot of people that support, and I'm gonna keep on doing this because I like to deliver smiles to people,
Hmm.
to see people happy, and
Yeah.
yeah, that makes my day.
Have you personally in your life ever experienced something that this hits particularly close to home? The reason I ask that is I want to know the inspiration behind going so far to help others, because I think person to person, everyone has.
Okay, yes, um, and I talk about this in my streams a lot.
Mhm.
Uh, previous relationships. Whenever you see that you do so much for someone and you're not being appreciated,
Mhm.
and all the good things you do for the person, that special one, and at the end, they're not being honest with you. They get abusive and all that stuff. I mean, I don't want to be a part of that. And a relationship costs money, right?
Mhm.
Uh, you got do this, do that, take out. You got to travel, all that. So I figure it's like, well, makeup, Urban Decay, Naked Palette, all that stuff. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna stay single for a while, and I'm gonna invest some of my money to help people that is gonna appreciate,
Mhm.
and that's what I that's why inspired me more, to help homeless people because they appreciate it.
So to clarify, you had experienced bad relationships. And,
Yes.
okay, I wasn't getting the affirmation or gratification, or there wasn't a reciprocation. A lot of issues, right? There wasn't the
Hmm.
reciprocation of me giving into the relationship. I want to give to someone who will truly value what I'm doing with my money and my time. And you thought the most deserving people would be the people without.
Right.
Um, do you do anything around the holiday season, or is there anything that other than what you've done with the live streams that have you've been a
I'm
part of?
pretty much live streaming. I met like 5 people from the app since
Mhm.
I've been live streaming, and but most of the time when I'm off for work or something, I'm live streaming.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So let's go back to the app. You said you've met a couple people from the app. What has Meet Me meant to you now that you've used it as a platform?
Um, like I say, you get a chance to meet amazing people. And I met a lot of amazing people on the app. Uh, and I like to, if I can make someone's day better, or I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want everyone that comes in my stream, even outside my stream, if there's anything I can do to help, I'll do it.
Hmm. Yeah. Now I know you're a VIP on the app.
Hmm.
Uh, have you ever thought or wanted a top badge? And if so, what would a top badge mean to you?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone that's live stream, they all, will want a tap badge.
Hmm.
Some of us get 'em, don't get, some of them get them, some of us don't get 'em. And but I'm still looking forward to getting one eventually. Um, uh, like I said, you hire on trending,
Mm-hmm.
you get more viewers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that by you having a tab badge, um, you have more responsibility
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to representing the app, because there's a lot of people that are new to the app, and usually they go in a tab badge stream before they go in somebody else's that without the tab badge.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, represent the app
Yeah.
and spread the positive vibes and love and support.
Yeah. I mean, with what you've done and used the platform for, I feel that you obviously, from a content standpoint, have a lot to offer. And running just briefly over some of your numbers, you have over 20,000 favorites and 24, nearly 25 million diamonds, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so just by comparison, you can see what I'm working with here, and I feel as though I've done very well. You've done exceptionally well on the app. And I think that from a quality standpoint of the things that you're doing, you're well deserving of one. So I'm very happy that you're a part. Um, I guess what would you like to say to everyone? Is there anything that you'd like to deliver, a message, anything that's important to you, anything at all that you'd like to talk about?
Um, yeah, like my main thing is being always positive.
Hmm.
Uh, make people feel welcome when they join your stream.
Hmm.
If Try to be there for one another, because I believe we're all family. Uh, and we supposed like we can make a difference if we all stick together. We can make a difference in the world.
Hmm.
I believe. If anyone, everybody pitch in a little bit, and we can make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, there's something that you showed me the other day. You pulled up yourself and you had a banner. You were on a banner on Meet Me.
Oh yeah,
What's that about?
that was back then when they had a contest.
Okay.
I think it was the what do you call that, for Saint Patrick Day, the
Yes.
clover, what do you call that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Shamrocks and clovers. Yeah.
the shamrocks, yeah, I think I won second on that contest.
Okay.
And I was asked, what do you want? Do you want a trend number one or something? And that was around the time when I was going to go see the homeless people the first time. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, that was the first time. And I said, do you want a train number one? Or I was like, oh, I don't know. So I was kind of undecided. It's like, what about a banner? And I was like, okay, that sounds great. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much the first streamer with a banner on the app, I think.
Yeah. That's
So
that's super cool.
yeah, I think it was cool. I was really happy about it.
Hmm.
So, but it lasted like 3 or 4 days or something like.
I feel
But
like
yeah,
advertising.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Awesome, man.
yeah.
Um,
So I was really happy and
yeah.
thankful about it.
If someone's interested in catching one of your live streams, obviously definitely should have favorited you by now. But when do you go
Mhm.
live so that they can come and see you?
Well, um, right now I'm usually live because I started working back in like about 2.5 months, 2.5 months ago. I've been back working.
Hmm.
Uh, I do my best, because sometimes I have to get up early, really early. I do my best to live stream, and sometimes I'm a little tired, and that's usually not good when you go live because you gotta be full of energy, like, you know, and all this. So, so I do my best. Sometimes I feel good, sometimes I'm tired, but I was like, man, I want to go live because it's been a day already, and people in the DMs like, Fabio, go live, we miss you or whatever. So I push myself.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's a family atmosphere in my stream. People come in my stream to hang out. To sometimes they're not even talking to me; they're talking to each other. Like everybody's like, we all they all interact with one another. Interaction is very important
Yeah.
whenever you live stream.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Well, Fabio, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. Very inspirational person. You do a lot of great.
Thank you.
Everyone, please make sure that you give Fabio a favorite. Check him out. Help support him. Let's get this guy to that blue badge level. Right, right. All right,
That's
Fabio,
right.
thanks for coming on, man. Much love. Much love.
Much love to you too. Thank you for having me on your show, Chris. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Guys, everybody favorite one another, favorite the gifters. Don't forget to favorite Chris. He's a great
thank,
guy. And that's an amazing job you're doing, Chris. Keep it up.
that means a lot. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Much love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only Fabio. Excellent job. Now don't go anywhere. We still got one more guest tonight. There's still one more. So big special thank you to Boss Tay Tay. Big special thank you. Thank you for the fireworks. Donnie, let's hook you up real quick, man. Check you out. If you're interested in being on the show, if you're a top streamer, if you're an up and comer, if you're VIP, please message me. I'd love to feature you. Talk about what got you started in the app, who you are as a person, have a more intimate look at you as a person than just the thank you for the gifts and all that kind of good stuff. I do have some minimums that I ask, but that's something that we can talk about privately. I don't want to get into all the specifics there. My name's Chris. I'm the host of Suited Up with Chris. Thanks for joining. It's an interview style show that we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, we bring on content creators, streamers, inspirational individuals, walks of different life. So, lastly, tonight, we have one more person, one of the most favorited individuals on the app. Now, because of changing work and life schedules, no longer is a top streamer, but was a top blue badge for a very long period of time, and has a very interesting story. She goes by many names, and she flips her Meet Me name here. Sometimes she's Chelsea Boo, sometimes she's Alexis Texas. Today it looks like she's Alexis Texas. So, Alexis, if you'd like to go and get in that queue real quick, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the box our final guest of the evening, the one and the only Miss Alexis Texas. I know another one, I think.
Oh my God, this like, hey.
Hey, how's it
What's
going?
up?
It's good to see you.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going super.
Good to see you.
I think we're getting some feet. Hang on, let's see here. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah!
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so I'll call you. Can I just call you Chelsea? Is that fine?
Yes, you can call me Chelsea.
Okay. That's what I feel like I know you by, but this name works too. Now has this been your Meet Me name most of the time?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. It's been like this for a few months. It wasn't my name the whole time.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's take it back for the people who haven't met you before and who have been unfortunate enough not to meet you. Can you please introduce yourself, where you're from, whatever you feel comfortable with, just on a basic standpoint?
Okay. Hi, guys. So I'm Chelsea, and I'm actually from Michigan, and I'm 22. And so I try to broadcast every single day, but obviously that's not like realistic. So I go to school too, and yeah, but I broadcast when I'm not at school.
That's cool.
I try.
So you're from Michigan, fellow Michigander. When did you get started on Meet Me?
I actually started on this app like 4 years ago, I want to say, and it was right before they put broadcasting on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw like ads like online or something saying that they were gonna put broadcasting, and I kind of had a little bit experience with it, so I was like, oh my God, like I need to do this opportunity. So then I like started streaming right when they put broadcasting on here, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure was like 4 years ago.
Perfect. Why did you or how did you originally find the app?
Well, I just got out of high school, okay? I just graduated 4 years ago, and I was like super bored. So I was like looking up online like what to do when I'm bored, like you know what I'm saying? And I found this article and I was like, "Oh, like teens live streaming or something." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds so weird." Like cuz by the sounds of it, it sounds like it's, you know, something bad. So I was like, okay. So then I started checking it out.
Yeah.
And then I seen like a lot of people. So I was like, I need to do this. So then I started it, and yeah, I really like it.
You, you said that you had some experience with something else. Had you been on another live streaming platform going live, or was that the case, or what did you mean by that?
I've yeah, I was on this other live streaming app too, and then I came on here, and then now I'm on like a lot of live streaming apps, but I mean, I think this is the best one, to be honest. So
Exactly.
yeah.
No, perfect. Okay, well, let's talk about life before you got on the app, though. I guess you said you were in high school at the time, so I guess the bring it to basics. Who were you in high school? What was high school like for you?
High school, wait, what? Okay, sorry. High school honestly was not a good experience
That we
for me.
went.
What did you say? No, high school honestly wasn't a good experience for me. I had really good times in high school, but like overall, I hated high school, and it was not a good moment of my life. So
Really? I guess to make it a little bit more relatable, whatever you're comfortable with sharing, why didn't you like high school so much?
I don't know. I was like really insecure, and I had depression, and I don't know. It really got to me, and then because I was really popular, probably my freshman and sophomore year, and then I realized like everyone's so fake, and everyone just talks bad about each other. So then I kind of like excluded myself from that. And then senior year, I think I like graduated with like two friends. So then that's when I went to broadcasting because I was like, I need more friends.
Yeah. So you chose to develop just a few small relationships and have some really good friends rather than a bunch of friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm happy that you were able to figure out who was your friend. That's at least the positive takeaway from high school. And so you went immediately from high school into broadcasting. What were your expectations? I mean, were you trying to make a career of it? What was the mentality?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, yeah, but I also wanted to like meet other people, and I was watching a lot of live streaming like
Mhm.
other broadcasters, and I wanted to get to know them too. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
kind of,
make friends potentially.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have you done that? Do you feel like you've made friends off the app, or what's happened in that respect?
Yeah, I've met a lot of people on this app actually. And I've talked to a lot of top streamers before, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like stick to myself though, to be honest. Like I support like people that support me, but like when I stream it's just like my own thing. I try not to deal with drama and stuff.
Hmm. So
So,
by keep to yourself, you mean that you try and stick away from the drama, what you said. So uh, evidently, it's worked well for you because you
yeah.
have nearly 170,000 favorites. Uh,
Yeah.
were you just immediately popular on the app? Do you think it was due to consistency? What was the development
Well, I feel like I was kind of different from other streamers when I first started streaming because like I don't know if you guys know, but like when this app first started broadcasting, like there were a lot of people that really didn't like know how to stream. Like it was something that was new. So, and I had a little bit of experience, so and there were a lot of people like first on the app that would like broadcast like the wall or something, and I always interacted with my audience, so I feel like that helps a lot.
the infamous black screen? Just nothing more.
Yeah, I see that all the time. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck?
Okay. Well, so besides doing that, I mean, do you think it was a slow roll, or did it just explode and you started getting a ton of favorites?
Um, well, I think well, it took me 4 years to get this many favorites, so I think it was pretty slow, but I mean, other people could say different, I guess. I don't know, but I feel like every time I go live, I get a lot of favorites. So yeah,
Well, cool. That's
every
cool.
time.
How did you make
Yeah.
your way to becoming a top streamer? How long did it take you before you became a top streamer?
Um, I think it only took me like a month or something, but they back then they didn't have like a application for the top streamers, so they kind of just gave it to everyone that was, a streamer that actually talked to their audience. So yeah, it was kind of easy back then, but now I feel like the requests are kind of hard for some people.
Yeah. Well, it's meant to be a little bit exclusive. It's meant to have a standard or something that's set to it, so it's understandable. Um,
Yeah.
do, did the beginning of the streaming times words? They're hard sometimes. At the beginning of ye old beginning streaming times, back when streaming first started, what were the differences? I mean, if you were to compare streaming back then to what it is now, the app's got a ton of new users. So, what would you share about what things used to be like compared to now?
Well, I feel like now there's a lot more content, like creative content, I would say. And basically, like every person on the app kind of understands how to stream. You know what I'm saying? Like even like the people that only get a couple of views, like they still like understand how it works. But back then, I really feel like a lot of people didn't have experience and didn't really know how to do it. So yeah.
Totally understand. Well, you shared some interesting things with me of things that you've taken on now in your real life. So you've slowed down your streaming, but that's for a good reason. You're doing important things with your lives, or your life, not your lives, your life. You're taking a career step. So what's this career step, and how did you get started on it?
My career step for broadcasting. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're going to school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to school. I'm sorry. So I'm going to school, yeah, and I'm trying to become a dentist.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's gonna take me a long time, but hopefully I can get there.
How did you land on dentistry?
Um, I always wanted to like have a career and helping people,
Mhm.
like in the medical field, but I don't actually want to be like a nurse or a doctor because I don't know if I could actually do that. But yeah. I like people's teeth. Like that's the first thing I look at too, is their teeth. So I've
I just think it's really funny that you said you didn't want to be a doctor. I'm pretty sure a dentist is a dentist,
I
not
mean,
that.
yeah, it is a doctor, but it's like a different type of doctor. Like I don't want to be um,
Cut you
a
open.
regular doctor. Yeah.
I mean, do you think you could perform like root canals and things like that? Would you ever be able to get into doing that kind
I mean, I have never had experience with it, but I feel like I could. I mean,
of
I
thing?
watch all these videos of like dentist stuff, and
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
yeah. You mean to say in your spare time, you're not just cranking open people's mouths, saying, "All right, let's see how that gum alignment is." No, it's those types of things in your spare time. I'm messing with you.
No.
Okay, so you want to help people and you love smiles, so why not pursue dentistry? Why full on dentist versus like a dental assistant, or like there could be like a ladder to it. Why do you want to shoot for like such a big goal? Why such a big goal?
Because I feel like that's being a dentist is like the highest goal in that area, and a dental assistant that's like a stepping stone to become a dentist, and I feel like I should try my best to be on the top
Yeah,
and not, set myself, lower than that.
yeah,
So,
no, definitely. And I mean, how has it been so far? I mean, is it meeting your expectations, and is it what you hoped it would be?
um, well, I'm actually not in the dental program right now. I'm still finishing up classes, but I'm taking a lot of like science classes right now and I really enjoy it. So, hopefully when I get into the program, it's a lot like what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best. I mean, it's a long journey, but if you're committed and that's what your heart is set on, I'm confident that you'll accomplish it. Besides doing that, you've been keeping busy with some new hobbies. So, what are these new hobbies that you're taking on?
Well, I recently just went to this thing by my house. It's called Painting with a Twist. I don't know if that's everywhere or that's just in Michigan, but yeah, so they like teach you how to paint, and so I feel like I have learned a lot from that, and I was always like really artistic and I like painting, so
Yeah.
I've yeah, and I've painted in high school too, so
Okay.
yeah, I was
There's an important detail that was omitted from the painting with the twist. There's alcohol
yeah.
involved.
You know what? But I didn't know that it's bring your own alcohol. I thought they provide you with alcohol. I know, that's what I said. I was like, what? You guys just don't give us alcohol? I know.
Is there a
Yeah.
liquor store strategically stationed by?
You know what? They give you, every time you go, they give you like a 15-minute break. And I always try to find like a liquor store close by, and I can never find one. So,
Wait, what do you mean
I,
every time you go, you try to find a liquor store? You mean like after the first time you realized there wasn't alcohol, you didn't think, hey, the next times I go, I should probably bring alcohol?
no, because every time I go, it's like spontaneous, and I don't ever have time. So I'm like, well, there's probably a liquor store close by, and then there
Yeah.
never is. So
I feel better knowing that it's spontaneous and not like on Tuesday I'm gonna go to Painting with a Twist. Oh, I forgot that I gotta bring BYOB again. Just what? What's your drink of choice? If you're gonna drink while painting, what's your drink of choice?
um, I don't know. I like probably like rosé. I like rosé.
So you fancy, huh?
Yeah. Well, it has to be wine. It can't be any hard alcohol.
No.
So
Well, those
yeah.
wines can sneak up on you. Some of those wines
I
have
know.
a really high
Yeah.
alcohol percent, and they'll get you. They'll get you. No laws in drinking claws, but
The fruity kind of wines get you.
that's true. That's true. Okay. Um, you didn't mention this to me, but I saw on from Instagram that you had been applying to different agencies, talent agencies. So, is there another dream or another direction that you're also beginning to explore?
Um, well, I was actually applying to like different modeling agencies,
Hmm.
and they were contacting me, and it just, I don't know, I don't know if you know anything about like modeling agencies, but they all kind of like there. It just seems like there's like a scam, but like behind the modeling agencies, so it's hard to see if there's like a legit one or one that's just they want your money. So
Yeah.
I kind of stopped doing that, but I'm trying to like build my Instagram following up, so then maybe if I get enough followers, then I can like take it from there to go into modeling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. I maybe have shared this. Nah, never mind. This is not about me. More about you. All right.
you know,
Huh?
say it. So
No, no,
just
no.
say it.
Another time.
Okay.
Another time. Um, uh, what has Meet Me meant to you? Just to cover all the bases here. What has Meet Me meant to you? Do you see a future with the app and yourself? What how would you like to go forward with live streaming?
Um, well, Meet Me has meant a lot to me. I've met a lot of people on this app, and I've had a lot of success on this app too. I plan on um, still broadcasting. Probably, I'm gonna try to broadcast every day, but it's really hard to do that. And that's another reason why, like, I lost my top badge because I'm not, broadcasting the hour each week. So I'm gonna try to do that eventually. And I don't know, I plan on taking all my followers to like Instagram and stuff. And yeah.
You're gonna build out a social web and dominate.
Yeah,
All of it,
exactly.
teeth, right? I like it.
Yeah.
All fronts. Excellent, excellent.
hmm
Is there anything that you haven't shared that you're passionate about or that's important to you? Anything at all that you'd like to talk about?
Um, I mean, like I said, I'm passionate with art. I really like art and fashion.
Mhm.
Um, I actually wanted to be a fashion designer when I was in high school, but
You
I don't
stole
know,
it.
now I kind of want to be a so yeah.
I was going to ask you. I was going to say, have you ever thought about fashion designer? No. Graphic design school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I feel like that's harder to become a fashion designer than a dentist though, because you know, you don't have like a lot of like Gucci designers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are a lot of fashion designers, but I just feel like that's a big leap than a
Yeah.
dentist.
Um,
Oh.
I think there's a large working piece involved with
Mhm.
well, with really any career, but especially with something like social media, which you've done a great job of developing your social media following. You've done a great job of developing following here. So, hey, I think you should have confidence and run. It's like what Fabio said. You've got to do what you love and enjoy it. So that's definitely what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're streaming less, but you still do it, when do you go live? If people would like to watch you or come and see you or check you out sometime, when do you go live?
Honestly, I don't really have like a set time. I'm sorry, everyone, but I kind of, I don't know, I try because I have class in the morning usually every day. So I try to go live in the afternoon,
Mhm.
but I'm usually never on past like 10 p.m., you know?
Yeah,
So I would say like between like 2 p.m. and like I would say maybe 8 p.m.
you're like the cable
is
guy.
like when I
You know,
yeah
like I'll be there
yeah
8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You know, whatever. It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. Just keep posting and I'll get there. I'll get there. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Is there anything else that you'd like to share or say before you get off?
Um, well, I would like to say I feel like a lot of people on this app really try hard to become a top badge.
Mhm.
And I've had a top badge for the last 3 years. Okay. And I just lost the top badge in March. Okay. It's been quite some time. But my streams, every time I go live, they're still, you know, as good as they were back then. So I feel like, you know, if your goal on the app is to get a top badge, oh,
It's me.
yeah, sorry. Okay. Your goal on the app is to get a top badge, you know, it's you can still have good streams without a top badge.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to say. You don't need a top badge.
Something that I anecdote every time someone brings this up is also you perform the role or you perform the job that you want before you have the job. The title does not precede the action, the title does not precede the quality or the content. So you have to have the
Yeah.
quality, you have to have the content, you have to be the person before you're given the title. So something that I love to ask every up and comer that comes on here is why do you deserve a top badge or what do you feel sets you apart? What is your differentiation from other streamers on the app? And as anyone is a streamer on this app or anyone who's trying to develop themselves as a streamer, as you're doing it, please ask yourself if your goal is to have a top badge, what do I do that's different than the other streamers? I'm going to say this. If your answer is this one and not taking a stab or shot at anybody, not taking a stab or shot at anybody, but if your answer to everyone is, I want to bring more positive vibes, you're gonna have to get in line because that's the number
Yeah.
one is I want to bring positive vibes. Okay, well, how though? Like Fabio said that, but he said I'm going to the homeless and helping develop shelters. Like that's a very specific niche that he's filling, right? It's a very specific thing that he's doing. So any of you out there, I'd ask yourselves that. Not to take away from what you just said, but yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah. No, that's true though, what you said.
Mhm. So anyway, so you said people trying to get their top badge,
Hmm.
they should.
There's a lot of people that come on here thinking like they can only go live if they have like a talent or they do something crazy so people watch, but like me personally, I have talents, but I don't put them on here. Like I just talk to my viewers and I get a lot of viewers. So you don't really need like a special talent to go live. You know what I'm saying? Like you can simply just talk to people and, you know, make them feel good and interact with people.
Sure.
So,
Excellent. Well, great
mhm.
advice. Thank you so much for popping on. It's been a pleasure to have you. Everyone, please make sure that you give Alexis Texas another favorite because chances are that you may already have regarding the number that she has. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's been a pleasure.
You said, okay,
Yes.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Don't go anywhere because I'm announcing something special, everyone. Real special. Okay. Uh, One time, big thank you to Boss Tete for impromptu coming on the show tonight. That was huge. That was super nice. Thank you to Fabio for coming on the show and all of the people who came to support Fabio. Thank you so much for the diamonds. Thank you. Whether you're a first time viewer or a long time viewer, thank you for coming to watch and hang out. And maybe you came to check out someone specifically. I appreciate it. Please come back if you've enjoyed any of the content tonight. It means a lot. It means a lot, a lot. So everyone who's gifted, special thank you to you. I know while we're doing these conversations, it can look like I don't appreciate it, but it definitely is noticed. It means everything. It's what keeps the lights on as far as me being able to broadcast and have this top spot on the app, as you've seen, this #1 featured spot. So really appreciate it. Danny, also give this gentleman, Danny right here, give him a favorite, please. I love this guy. I had an opportunity to see him, and I'd love to see him on the show. You should message me about it. Yes, and Alexis Texas, lastly, thank you. This is the final guest that was on tonight. Thank you so much for being on. And Goldie, I don't know that you and I have ever met, but I just gave you a favor. Any top streamers, anyone that would like to be on the show, please get in contact with me. I'd love to feature you and have a conversation with you. All right, let's talk about next week. The tacos. Thank you for the tacos. I love the tacos. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wow, we nearly hit that 8.9 mark. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's talk about next week. Next week is special. It's #1. It's a stacked lineup. So I'll tell you who's on next week. We've got Katie Cutie Pie. So if you know who Katie Cutie Pie is, she'll be on the show. We've got one of our favorite Filipinas, Jamie. She's gonna come on. We've got Jamie on. And then lastly, we have another VIP top streamer. Well, she's not a VIP, but she's a very important top streamer, right? We have Jessica on, another Michigander. So next week is Katie Cutie Pie, Jamie, and Jessica. But that's not all. There will be a very special official announcement made on the stream next week. I can't give you any details about it. I really don't know any details about it. But there will be a special announcement next week on the show. So please come by. It's gonna be a big deal. So I don't really have any details about it. I don't know what it is. But there's gonna be something that's special that's gonna be on. So thank you so much, everyone, coming on. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all that you want to say to me, please shoot me an Instagram message. Otherwise, I look forward to the next time that I see you. And please, everyone, take care. Much love. See you next time. Bye.